Once again, welcome all of you to today's session of Branding Mastery Day 1. And we are going to deep dive a lot into logo design. And I'm sure that you all are super excited to learn a lot about logos. And with that note, let me start with the presentation for the day. And we are also going to jump into a lot of practical. With that, let me tell you that myself, Karan Shah, I am based out of Hyderabad and I have been running my own design agency called as 8FX based in Hyderabad. I've been running my agency for 11 plus years. I've been into the field of designing as an experience, got 14 years. My uncounted experience of learning and all would add up to 17 or 18 years. But I'm not counting those initial 4 years. My actual work experience comes down to 14 years. And with that, I started as a self-taught designer, then did my bachelor's in animation and multimedia, 4 years of degree in animation and multimedia. Post that, during my second year, I started my agency, and then I slowly transitioned into UX UI design. And on that note, I've been grateful that I've been able to design UX UI experiences for users, which are being used by maybe 50 million plus users across the globe because I have been designing for OTT platforms. The ones who are from Hyderabad might know AHA as a platform, which is a regional OTT platform called as AHA, which is in Telugu and Tamil. That was entirely designed by me. And then post that, I have moved on to another company and designing for global OTT platforms, which are based out of Malaysia, Singapore, US, and many others. So with that, because I have been still doing and started my journey with branding, over the years I got to perfect that little bit of art. And in this session, I'm concising all my learnings and give it to you all in a very precise manner. So make maximum use of it. Any questions, any doubts, feel free to ask. So stay connected till the end. We are also going to have a lot of giveaways at the end. And we are going to share a small little feedback form at the end. So the ones who fill in the feedback form will also get a token of appreciation from our end, which is nothing but a small little certificate to shout out and put it out on your LinkedIn profiles. And with that note, let me start with today's session. Once I share the screen, do confirm if my screen is visible to all of you. Kindly confirm if my screen is visible to all of you. Yes or no? Everybody, can you all confirm me? Awesome. So if I'm looking on the right side, that's nothing but me seeing your chats, and this is where is my presentation. And let us get started. So awesome. So first and foremost, today I will like to just tell you that I've been starting this small little space for designers called as Designer Hub. It's a virtual space, which is the motto or the intent is to help you all learn, connect, and grow together. And we have been doing this so that because to fulfill the gap, which is not meeting in the industry, there have been a lot of designers who have been learning design but still are not hireable. Okay, they are not able to get hired because some kind of skill sets are still missing in them, and that's exactly where we come in to help you bridge that particular gap, give you that skills, give you that knowledge which the institutes or the college are not able to fulfill. And that's something that is really important in today's time. And on that note, we started Designer Hub, and today we are in this particular session of branding mastery. So why did I tell it as branding mastery and not as logo mastery? Because inside branding is one little part of logo design. And today we are going to cover that small part because at the end of the day, that small little logo gets branded across various elements throughout various advertisements or print or forms like digital forms or on your social media, etc. So all of this session today is helpful for you all to learn everything about logo design in depth, and not just to make beautiful logos but to make useful logos. Now there's a very big difference. There's something called as beautiful logos and useful logos. Now beautiful logos are those logos which might just look wow in your portfolio presentation, but in reality they will add no value or they will make no sense from a company point of view. And at the same point, there are some logos which are really useful, which may not look like wow, but it does the job. So we are going to focus more on how to design those useful logos because those are the logos which become timeless. And also, this session is for anyone who is building a brand from scratch. You will get to learn a lot of insights and technical terms or to deal with designers. And I'm sure for the designers who would have heard this for the logos, like make it pop or make it bigger, how to tackle with those kind of feedbacks and how to justify your answers in the right way. I'm sure you will get all of those answers as well. And for anyone who is confused why their logo branding is not working, I'm sure you will get all your answers for the day. So, with that, let me just connect my digital pen. 1 second. Yeah, so that it becomes easier for me to, write and click and communicate with all of you. It becomes more interactive in that way. So, give me a second. Okay, 1 second. Fine. Maybe it's not accepting for the day, but that's okay for us. So, I hope the screen is still visible. Okay. So things we are going to learn today. It's more to be going to be on types of logos. What are the different types of logos that we are going to have? What makes a good logo? And the process of logo designing and the design thinking that goes behind a logo. Then the logo construction, logo spacings, how are they calculated and how are they done rightly? Then what are the different guidelines that you create for a logo and how do you present a logo guideline when you have to deliver to your end client? What are the different logo variations that you will be creating? The logo testing, the file formats, the logo presentation, and the common logo mistakes to avoid. So, are we all excited for all of this in today's session? Yes or no? Everybody, come on, a quick answer. Awesome. Awesome. So, on that note, let us get started and see the most of it. So, what is logo? Okay. Instead of me asking, I'm not going to waste time asking questions, but I'm just jumping down directly into it. So, I'm just putting a very simple definition over here. A logo is a graphical mark, emblem, or a symbol used to identify and represent a brand. Just remember, it is a item or a mark or a symbol or whatever to represent a brand. Logo is not the brand, okay? A brand or company or the organization. So it is representing either of these three. And it acts as a primary visual identifier. So it is just acting as an identifier, which is by utilizing shapes, colors, typography to convey brand's identity and value instantly. Okay. At the same time, what is branding? So branding is a total perception a person holds about the company, okay, shaped by every touch point, every interaction, and every feeling it evokes, because branding is all about the feeling and it lives in the customer's or the user's mind. Okay, so there's a very big difference between both. Many people think that logo is equal to branding. Please trust me, that's not it. When you tell you are a branding expert, that's completely a different meaning. If you tell you are a brand strategist, that's also a complete different meaning. But if you are all into logo designing, then you rather tell that you are a logo designer or a logo expert or an identity strategist or any of those terminologies. Don't confuse yourself that if I'm a good logo designer, I'm a branding expert. That's one big common mistake that we all make. Why, I will tell you that also in no time. We have done a complete deep dive session on branding previously. You can go check it out what exactly is branding in more depth. Though this is just the definition, but we have done a 2 hour session entirely on branding. Now, a very quick differentiation between logo versus branding. So, as I told you, logo is a visual identity that helps people recognize a business, whereas branding is the overall perception and the emotional connection that people have with the business. And logo is what is visually visible, but branding is more about how people feel and remember. It's nothing but the entire experience that you have created for the user. And then logo is nothing but one element of a brand. Okay, that logo does not mean branding, it is just a one small little element of the brand. And in branding, it's the complete experience of the brand, right from all your pre-purchase to post-purchase of any product or service. That entire journey or the experience is part of the branding, but logo is nothing but one identifier of a particular brand. A logo helps people identify a brand, whereas branding gives them the reason to remember, trust, and choose it. Okay, so remember that. A logo is nothing but helps you identify a brand, but branding is nothing but the experience that you create due to which people will remember, trust, and choose your brand again and again. Now, as I told you, I'm making this very, very bold. Branding is not equal to logo. And my next slide will also tell you why. So, if you see over here, in this entire print, you can see in this entire particular thing, you see that the top part of the iceberg, you have a very small visible area, which is nothing but the name, the website, the print, the typography, color palette, social media, which is all the visible items for any particular brand. And logo is just one small part of it. And the invisible items which go inside the iceberg of the branding is the brand values, mission, vision, the personality, the tone of voice, customer experience and culture, brand story and the emotional connection, target audience or the market or the user personas, the competitors in the market, the unique selling propositions, offerings, products, or services. All of this thing together, entirely together, creates a proper brand kit or a branding. But today we are only going to focus on one small little element, which is nothing but logo design. Okay, and in this part, okay, so I'll tell you one thing. Now, any brand without marketing stays invisible. Okay, so every brand also requires marketing and they both go hand in hand, and in our previous session we explained that in much more detail, so you can go watch it out. But with that, let us understand what are the different types of logos. So I've classified them into 6 different types. Some internet will show you 11 types, 7 types, 8 types, but prominently they will fall into any of these 6 categories itself. Okay, so the first type is nothing but the monogram or letter marks. Now, please remember, any of this terminologies is something that you need to remember. If you are having a book and pen handy, then please make a notes of them, because that is going to be really, really helpful to all of you. Okay. So you need to remember this technical terms called as monogram or letter marks, because when you are searching for inspiration, these are the right terminologies that are going to help you find the right inspiration. Okay. Now monogram or letter marks are also known as the initial logos and are the types of logo designs that uses the initials or the individual letters from the brand name to create a distinctive visual mark. Okay, now you can see over here, like Louis Vuitton, you can see L and V. The first 2 letters have been combined and a logo has been created out of it. Same goes with Malabar Gold and Diamonds. They have taken the letter M and made the entire logo out of it. Same way, Mintra, again letter M, and they are having the same letter M as the icon. But if you notice, both of them have the letter M as the monogram or the letter mark, and you can see both the M's look really, really different. They are not identical. Okay, and same goes with like Agio, just a circle and the A letter cut. It's very, very simple to make these logos, but the meanings that they have behind these logos is too deep. And as I go forward, I'm going to explain you some of those kind of hidden meanings that goes behind the logos as well. PayPal, PP, you have the PP. Same goes with Ghana, Facebook F, Asian Paints AP. They use the letter A and P, but in a form of a infinity symbol. Okay, that means again nothing but growth. Maneuver, again letter M, but you can see how they have put the letter M inside a batch. Okay, and these are nothing but they tried to take the inspiration from the letter heart, but they have tried to, because maneuver is all about weddings, so that heart in a very different shape. Big basket, 2 B's inside a green little square. Flipkart letter F. Again, Facebook F, Flipkart F. You can see both are F letters, but how distinctively they have modified it. Baskin Robbins. Okay, B and R. You see B and R, but I'm sure many of you might be knowing it. But you know, the colors have been cut separately. That colors also create a hidden meaning, which is nothing but 31, 3 and 1. Because they have got 31 flavors in them, you can see 3 and 1 inside the logo as well. Larsen and Turbo, which is L&T, you have L&T, LG, and you can see LNG. Urban Company, UC, Misho as letter M. Again, a different M, but a very simple M. So these are nothing but these kind of logos are called as monograms or letter marks. Let's go to the second type of logos, word marks or logotypes. Now, When do we use monograms or letter marks, and when do we use word marks or logo types, and so far the other types of logos. As we go forward, we are going to understand it. Now, word marks are also known as logotypes and are types of logo design that consist solely of the textual representation of a brand name, often stylized in a unique font or typography. So the logo or the name itself is the logo over here. So whatever is the name, H&M, that itself is the logo. There is no separate icon or there is no separate other element that have been added. The font itself is modified in such a way that it becomes a logo. Like if you see the IBM logo, it's nothing. It's the same font written, but all the cut lines over there, and that becomes the IBM logo. CNN inline font joined together and it becomes CNN. And Vio, nothing but a font which is modified. FedEx. Also, if you see in the hidden meaning that they have, there's an arrow that goes moving forward because it's a delivery company. So it always has this invisible arrow in the negative space. Now, these kind of things are called as negative space, like hiding those kind of elements in the white area are called as negative space. And even if you Google negative space logos, you will get to see a lot of them. Then you have eBay, Tropicana, Lux, Zara, Subway, Revlon. I've just put a few. You will find hundreds and other logos of other brands available on the internet. But I hope you have got the context of it. So far, is everybody clear? Yes or no? Everybody? Awesome. Now, on that note, let us go with the third type of logo, which is typography or textual logos. Now, if you would ask me, what is the difference? Like over here, also word marks and logo types are nothing but typography. Here also, it's like typography or textual logos. What is the difference between them? Now, the small little difference that you will have over here is word marks are those logos which will also have small little other modified components added to it. In each and every logo that you see over here, they have modified it entirely, some letter, or they have added an extra element to it. Example, H&P is not just HP font, they have added a circle. H&M, the font has been modified completely like a handwritten. L'Oreal, you can see this hyphens are completely added additionally. CNN, the font has been completely joined or merged. The font by default is not like that. FedEx, there's a hidden arrow which has been embedded. This dot has been embedded. eBay, the letters and everything has been truncated. Tropicana leaf have been added. LNO has been joined. Arrows have been added. All these letters are joined. Letters are joined. So they are not just direct fonts. They have been combined together or modified in such a way that it is no more the font by itself, but they have made some tweaks. That's why they are called as word marks. Okay. But whereas typography, it preliminarily uses font based or handcrafted fonts to create distinct brand identity throughout the power of text. Now if you look at any of these, there's no additional element that has been added, no extra arrows, no extra apostrophes, nothing extra done. It is purely handwritten fonts or the font itself just modified. They have not modified it too much also. Maybe just they have changed the spacing between the letters, truncated it, or expanded it, or tilted it, or any of those. Okay, but they have not added any extra element to it. So that's the small little difference between the typography and the word mark logotypes. Okay, it's a very minute difference, but that's exactly what makes it different. Now, Coca-Cola logo by itself is a font, which has then been modified with this particular thing coming all the way from C, passing through the L. That's the only hand typography that they have changed. Sony by default is a font. Netflix by default is a font, which they nothing but they have used a wrap and they have wrapped it into a curvature like this. Godrej is a simple font. Gillette is a font. Cadbury is a font where they have just the D and the B have been joined. Okay. Barbie, again, it's a handwritten font, so it's a custom font, not a direct font. Barbie is a custom font, but again, it's a simple font. So, yes, all these fonts, some of them are created. Like Casio is not created, it's a direct ready font. Ray-Ban is also a ready font, just they have tilted it. Google is a ready font. Okay, but they have modified the letter G and the O for the visual optimum spacing so that it's visually appealing. Yahoo is also a ready font, but they have just moved in the letters. Infosys is also a simple font, just they have joined it together. Then comes the next type of logo, which is the fifth type, I believe, which is the abstract or geometric types. Okay, now abstract or geometric type logo is an iconic image intended to identify a brand. A geometric logo is unique in its focus on simple and clean shapes. Geometric shape logos can feature complex patterns of interconnected circles and squares. Now, if you see all of these abstract or geometric logos, they are all simple shapes or shapes combined together and forming multiple other shapes. And at the same time, they are all in a geometrical shape. It's not like a custom icon or a letter having a different icon. If you see, none of this have got a resemblance with the first letter or the last letter, nothing of that. They are completely abstract in nature. But why do these logos become so known or well known? Because they have been marketed well. Now, if I tell you that you put this as your brand logo without the name, zero marketing, will people remember your brand? Tell me a yes or no. Will they remember the brand? No, right? So sometimes you also need to keep in mind, like, for whom are you designing and how are they going to project that particular brand? Whether if it's a D2C brand as well, are they going to market it on a large scale? If yes, that kind of logos go in a very different category. But there are also brands which do not have the marketing power. They are just building it from scratch. So then how do you define logos for them? Now, if you just give them these abstract shapes and they are not marketing it, they will never get recognized in the market. So, marketing goes hand in hand, and based on the kind of marketing that they are going to do, why I'm highlighting this is you need to ask these questions to your client before you're designing the logo so that you have all those insights. I will also show you the kind of questionnaire that we send it to the client so that you get an idea, and I will explain that also at the end of the session. So these logos are very clear that they are going to make it big or they are going to market it a lot, and they are going to put print ads, digital ads, advertisements on all the big screens, and that's why for them these kind of logos work well. Any kind of automobile and all of that also can go with abstract or geometric logos because they are going to be visible to people again and again. Now, the combination mark, the other type of logo, what they do over here is the abstract elements and the font are combined together. They are not separate. Like the icon is separate and the text is separate. If you look at the previous one, the icon is separate, text is separate. Icon separate, text separate. Icon separate, text separate. But here, they all get combined into one. And with that, the logo is the combined mark all together becomes the logo. Okay, so like if you see Pizza Hut, that with that hat and this yellow line together becomes the entire logo. Same way with Domino's Pizza, with this entire thing, it becomes the logo. Lace with this entire thing, now they have modified their new logo, but previously it was this. Geo entirely with that circle and the font is their combination mark logo. MTV, you can see Amazon, they have a simple geometrical element or some kind of a combination that is happening, which also has the hidden meaning of all the products from A to Z and with a smile. So that's how they try to communicate. Intel, again, a simple geometrical abstract shapes, but all combined together. That's not separate and this is not separate. They're all combined. Maggie, combined shape. Bingo, combined with a circle and all of that fancy effects that they have added. Sunfeast, combined with. Okay. Okay, so Sunfeast, it is combined with those elements of grain. Then Parachute, you can see they have combined the tree and the coconut tree and the entire shape. UPI, they have combined these two arrows with the entire thing. Red bus, the bus and the text. IKEA, again combined with shapes. Book My Show, that my shape of the ticket is combined with it. So these are all combination mark logos. Then comes the pictorial marks or symbols. Now, again, you could ask me that this logo could also have been a pictorial mark or symbols, but why are they coming inside geometrical? Now, please remember, these logos are formed with the combination of shapes or elements of different shapes. But these logos are not just shapes, they are completely different and they do not form any shapes of square, triangle, rectangle. So these are called as pictorial marks or symbols. Why am I highlighting this is you will understand those minute little differences that we miss out. Now, in this pictorial marks, generally they are majorly used in all the digital applications or the mobile apps or the websites because for the fave icon or for the app icon or any of that. And throughout a period of time with heavy marketing and with a lot of user base, they become well known. Okay. They don't get famous overnight, but over a period of time with heavy marketing, they become well known. So you can, this also has changed now. So Twitter is now the X, but previously it was a small little bird. Then you have the Instagram, which is now there's no font into it. There's nothing that's combined into it. They have tried to get a different meaning altogether. So Chat and calling together is nothing but WhatsApp. That's how they try to communicate. Now, this is nothing but Instagram is all about pictures. So they just tried to create a digital camera in a very small little form, and that camera became the icon for them. Spotify, they are listening, sound waves traveling till far. Okay, that's how they have given that particular logo for themselves. YouTube, just the play icon. Swiggy, the letter S with the location, delivering at your doorstep. Now, after a lot of branding, now they have just gone to the simple font little logo. Before, it used to be a lot more. State Bank of India, you all know it. It's again a shape but customized. Apple logo, phone pay logo, Telegram, and so on. So these are all pictorial marks or symbols. Then comes the mascot or character types of logos. A mascot logotype is that incorporates illustrated character, often an animal or a person or an object, to represent a brand, team, organization, or a product. Now, all of these, I'm sure you very well know, so I will not take further time, but you can see how each and every brand, though without the mascot also, they will have font as the logo, but with the mascot also, they will have their own representation. Clear? Then comes the most prominently that we see on all the automobiles or schools or all of that, an emblem mark which encapsulates the design features within a frame or a border, creating a cohesive and unified image that often represents a badge, seal, or crest. This type of logo integrates text and imagery into a single enclosed design, often giving it a classic, authoritative, and formal appearance. So all of these and lot of, I'm sure you have seen all the football matches. If you have seen all the football teams logos, they are all nothing but batches or emblems or pictorial marks coming together for their logo, and very widely used in sports, automobile industry, and educational institutes. These are the three major sectors where these kind of logos are majorly used. So far, is everybody clear? Yes or no? Come on, quickly. A little bit of activeness. Okay, awesome. Now that you all are clear so far, let's go to the next step. So you have understood all the 6 types of logos. Okay, so I'm going reverse. The emblem mark or the batch logo, first one. Then the mascot logo or the character logo, second one. Then the pictorial mark logos. Tata logo will come inside. So they have 2 types of logos. Sometimes they just write pure Tata, which is nothing but the typography. But it also has a mark, which could be in abstract or geometrical, because it's just the letter T, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, so if you see this, it will go in a pictorial mark itself, okay, because it's not a direct shape. It's the letter T which has been cut separately, and you have the simple font over here. So this is where the Tata logo will live into. Okay, clear? Snapchat, pictorial mark. I have added that also, right? So if you look at pictorial mark logos, let me go back to that. You can see I have added Snapchat here. Tata logo will also come into this itself. It is because it's a pictorial mark or a symbol that they have created. Clear? Then we have covered the abstract logos, typographic logos, word mark logos, and monogram or letter marks. What all you need to remember, Google Play, it might come in this one itself, pictorial marks. You see Google Play, pictorial marks. Okay. Now, again, you could define them in 2 categories, one category. It is not that it has to fall only in this category. So, it now why it is not into a geometrical? Very good question. Now, inside geometrical, if you notice, they have got directly shapes that are creating all of this. Okay. Now, this one again, it's a triangle and multiple again, this thing. I can put it over here. It's completely not at all wrong. But if you look at this, they have completely modified the shape, and they have made these individual triangles that come together as a whole. It can come under that, but I would still prefer it because it is going as a symbol and not as together. Now, these all, I'll tell you one more thing. Most of these logos always will go along with this. Okay, they go together most of the times. Nowadays, because these brands have become big, now they just put the Mercedes logo or this icon or this icon. But previously, when they were not that famous, they both used to go together. They all used to go together. But over a period of time, they have changed. And today, Google Play just uses this icon. So I'm not telling that it cannot come under geometrical. It can 100% come. And there might be a very big overlap between a lot of logos, which might end up falling in 2 different categories and not the same. Okay. With that, let us go to the next step of what makes a great logo. Okay, so I will tell you why this is very, very important. So, a great logo is simple and memorable. At the same time, it is timeless, versatile, and appropriate, clearly representing the brand while staying recognizable across all contexts and lasting over time. So, many at times, what happens, whatever is latest trending in the market, we create logo based on that. But that's the wrong step we take. We need to understand the brand philosophy, the vision, the mission, consider all of their insights, what they are trying to achieve. Based on that, you need to create the logo, because at the end, it has to be simple, instantly recognizable, and no explanation required many at times. Or it should be totally abstract, that it is like that picture gets stored in your mind with marketing or a little bit of marketing. So either you go very simple or either you go very abstract. And then it should be memorable at the end of the day. It should stick in the people's mind at couple of glances so that there's a higher recall value. Okay, then it should be timeless. Like, so basically we avoid trends and we build it to last for decades, that we don't need to change it regularly. So nowadays, if you see all these big AI brand logos, they are just very simple textual logos with a very small little icon. Gemini, nothing, just a simple spark repeated twice. Chat GPT, nothing but a circle intersecting from multiple circles, and that logo gets formed. Claude, nothing, random spark into in a different shape. So, and the font is also very simple and timeless. Okay. Can ChatGPT logo be used as main logo for business 3D style? Not in 3D style, but in a very flat style. Yes, it will work, but not in 3D. So that's what I'll tell you why also. As we go towards printing those 3D things are not possible. They might not come the same depth in print. It might look very good visually on your digital screens. As we go forward, you will understand that. And then coming to the next part is versatility. So it should work in all the sizes, right? From fave icon to billboards as well. Okay. Then at the end, it should be appropriate, which matches the industry, audience, and the personality of that brand. And most important, one more quick check is whatever logo you make, it should be easily drawable by a 8 to 10-year-old child. So whatever logo, if you are able to make a 8 to 10-year-old draw it after they look at it for 10 minutes, and then you hide the logo, and if they're able to redraw it, then maybe you have already made a memorable and a timeless logo, because that will easily get stored if a child can remember. That's a very simple test that you can use. And coming to the process, now there are a lot of processes that you will find on the internet, and it is not necessary that you need to do all of this to get it right. But I'm telling you the traditional way, why this process is involved, and that's exactly why brands charge like good 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, even up to 10 lakhs just for logo design. Okay, there are some brands or people, freelancers, who will do it for 5,000 rupees. Now, do you think a 5,000 rupee person is going to do all of this and going to give it to you? No, right? But the person who might be charging 1 lakh rupees is going to invest time with couple of people trying to do all of this and then get you the right logo. Many at times you might also laugh at a lot of big brand redesign, that, oh my god, what change have they made? This could have been done in 5 minutes. Like, it has happened with many brand logos. Accenture logo is one such example. Nothing, they have just typed a font and a simple arrow on top of it. And that's all. But if you deep dive into the Accenture brand book, okay, then you will get to see a whole new world of what is the thinking process and the thought process that has gone behind it. I will come to some of those brand books, maybe possibly tomorrow's session, and we will have a look into them. But coming back to our process, it's firstly, as a designer, if you want to charge more, this is what you need to remember. And at the same time, this is the same process that you need to talk with your client, because of which you are charging them more. They might ask you, why is it that you are charging me 40,000 whereas another designer is ready to do it for 10,000? That's exactly where this slide is going to be helpful to you. Sir, it's all about me doing a proper business understanding, doing a proper market research, defining a good strategy for your logo to work. I'm going to build the right keywords which associate with your brand or your company's vision and the mission. Based on that, I'm going to create the mood boards, then the concept, and then the sketches or the ideation. Then you will build them digitally, then you will refine them based on the inputs and the back and forth that happens based on the concept and the sketches. Then you will again do the testing within a small group of people, and then you will present it and get the right feedback, and then you will make those final changes and do the final delivery. Now, this entire process altogether, if you follow in a big brand or big agencies that do branding just for logo design, they take a good 2 to 3 months time just for simple logo design work. But small agencies might take like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, which is 1 month, and even more smaller than them might just take like 1 week or 2 weeks. Now, if you ask me, I would generally prefer a 2 weeks timeline. I take the project, I tell them I will give you just three samples or three concepts or ideations at the end of 2 weeks, based on which further we will do the refinements, iteration, and rest of the things. Now, why am I only going to give three? You will ask me, so I'm telling you some practicalities over here. Now you might be thinking that, hey, client is asking me a lot of options or multiple options, or we many a times as designers think that let me give me 10 options, at least one the client is going to select. Now those kind of designers fall into the wrong category, because over here you are trying to just convince the client. Your goal is not thinking from part of the company's vision, values, and all of that. Okay, so your goal is to just satisfy the client, which is in the wrong direction. But the moment you change your direction from not about client or one person, but it is about the entire company's vision, mission, and you explain that with a storytelling, powerful narration, and the way you articulate that entire concept, trust me, you will get to make only three options, because that will go with a powerful storytelling. And once the client likes that, he is going to approve it in no time. I will show you some of the examples also at the end of this. I have it as part of the presentation. We'll see it. So is everybody clear with the logo design process? Yes or no? Any doubts so far? Anybody? No, right? Everybody clear? Perfect. Awesome. So now let me go one more step forward into the design thinking behind the logos. Now, why am I telling this is, behind every logo, there is a lot of work that goes in, and lot of technical knowledge or skill sets is something that we need to build. So I'm just going to tell what are those different skill sets as a designer that you need to build before you directly jumping into logo design. Okay. So, firstly, you need to be very, very good with shapes. Okay. You need to understand that each shape gives a meaning to the logo. It's not that you can randomly take any shape and just add it to the logo. They all also give a particular meaning. I will give you a little bit of insights on that today. At the same time, every color has a meaning associated to it. And different tints and shades of those color again give a different meaning altogether. I have taken a in-depth class on color theory, explaining all of those colors and its meanings and how it translates between every brand. You can go do check it out. It's a good 2 hour session. And then I have also taken a session on typography, which is equally important for any of these logos, because the type defines the personality of the brand. And typography plays a very key role in all of these, defining whether it's a tech brand or a nature friendly brand, or whether it's an eco friendly brand, or whether it's a kids brand. It's only the typography that makes a big difference across all these three. Same name of the brand, just with different type, will entirely change the business category of them. Okay, so font for the logo also speaks a lot about the brand. And again, on this also, I've taken a good 2 hour session. Go do check it out. It's all available for free, not charging you anything. And these are all from based on my own learnings over the years. I've custom built all these presentations. And then comes the design principles, the visual balance between the elements that you create with that particular logo. Sometimes it does happen that we might like a hexagonal logo and we might put it very nicely in our presentation, and the client also would have liked it. Okay. But what happens is, whenever you use a hexagonal logo, there's a lot of empty space that gets created, and you cannot fulfill that space with any of those elements. And because of that hexagonal shape, a lot of your alignments go for a toss. So that is why you need to keep in mind all the design principles, not just from building the logo, but where all the logo is going to get used tomorrow, right from your websites to all your printables. And keeping in mind all of that, you need to design it. And then the hidden info, like trying to integrate that small little hidden info or the negative space or those symbols playing with people's psychology. That's also something that a lot of things that go behind this design thinking of your logos. Now, I'll give you a very classic example behind all of this and an entire process as well. But are you all clear with all of this? What are the key things that you need to be very good with? You need to be good with shapes and meanings. You need to be very good with the color theory. You need to be very good with your typography skill sets. You need to be good with all the design principles. And you need to be good with creating good psychology or symbols inside those logos. Now, all of these five different things will help you make a powerful logo for any brand. And out of this, except the last part, I have covered three of this as three separate master classes on colors, typography, and design principles. Go do check it out. Now, coming to the next part is logo construction. I'm sure you all would have seen that all these grids and different lines and squares that people present on their Behance projects. How many of you have seen it? Many of you. But do you all know how this actually works and how do we create all of this? No, right? Today we will learn it. We will learn it practically. We are going to use these grids and lines to exactly create some logos. In the meantime, all I require is you giving me some random brand names and we will try to create logo for it. I'll pick any one randomly from your chat and we will try to create it. It's not golden ratio. Okay, golden ratio also I'm going to explain you today, but this is not about golden ratio, but it's called as logo construction. Now, as I go forward, I will explain this practically. Okay, don't worry about it. At the same time, you need to have good knowledge about logo spacings. Now, you would have again seen on Behance projects that people put logos inside these grids. Why are these grids even there? What is the use of these grids? How do these grids work? Do you have all this knowledge? Anybody knows it? If yes, you can tell yes in the chat. I have no problem. No, no problem. We are going to cover all of this also. And you will see it very practically. You will understand it very practically right inside in today's session. So, coming to the shapes, as I told you, each and every shape has got its meaning. Let us understand some details about it. So, if you see a square or rectangle shape is generally associated with discipline, realism, strength, stability, courage, safety, security, order, reliability, organization, balance, and efficiency. Okay, so these are the different meanings that are associated with the square or rectangle. And you can see all these brands using square in their logo just to resemble any of these meanings in them. Maybe they want to talk about strength, courage, security, organization, efficiency, Microsoft logo. And each color comes with its own meanings. Okay. At the same time, Domino's Pizza, you can see they are also talking about order or organization, efficiency, discipline, things like that. American Express goes with stability, security, and all. Lego, Adobe, Gap, Instagram, IKEA. So you can see how Square is integrated or chosen to represent some or the other psychological meaning associated with that shape. Then comes the circle. The circle shape meaning or the oval, the shape meaning is all about harmony, community, belonging, unity, wholeness, love, completion, comfort, protection, and friendship. I'm sure you can associate all of these brands with all of these meanings respectively. And keeping this in mind, what you are designing for, which brand you are designing for, you can start thinking if you have to take a shape, which shape you want to take. Coming to triangles, it's all about excitement, balance, risk, power, danger, direction, stability, efficiency, mystery, and growth. Okay, you can see how different meanings of one shape is being associated with differently with different brands. Can you all see this? Yes? Are you all learning something new? Yes or no, everybody? Awesome. Super good. Let's go one more step further. Coming to the pentagon, hexagon, or octagon. Now, over here, again, because they are pointed edges with flat lines, you can see it's again balance, strength, efficiency, symmetry, elegance, trust, and security. Almost that same of the rectangle or the square, but it adds that extra depth of security because it points multiple areas or angles, and extra depth of symmetry because all the hexagonals are majorly to denote symmetry and efficiency. Okay, and you can see how they have been using it over here. Now, in this, you can see one of the logo, it's in hexagonal shape, but then I have put it inside a circle and then a square. Okay. Now, this logo was created by me itself for a particular brand. It's for a packaging brand. Now, if you notice over here, it is interglobe packaging, IGP, the initial letters. So I somehow wanted to bring that over there. So the negative shape forms the letter I with the dot. You can see the dot over here. You have the letter G, the letter P. Okay. So you got to see IGP. Clear? Now, basically, the name is interglobe, across the globe. Somehow I wanted to bring the globe into it. There's a circle into it. And packaging is all about boxes. The entire thing is like a box. And because it has to perfectly go with multiple different variations of logo, whether it's in print or whether they have to put it on the packaging stickers and all, the circular shape is easier to do it than the round shape, because if I just give the round shape, the cutting charges for the round becomes extra. Okay, anything that I have to cut round, I have to go for a second round of cutting it and a lot of paper wastage. Whereas if I just keep it a square, I have less wastage. I can use the entire thing. The entire thing also looks like a box, and the entire thing also looks like a box which is having a product of IGP. You can see how the meaning is been associated with that of the shapes. Isn't it interesting? Yes or no? Yeah, do you all get it? So it's the letter I in the invisible area, the letter G, the P, and the entire thing in a hexagonal shape because it's like a 3D box. Okay, the cube, the box or the cube, and then the globe is nothing but the circle. And then because I want to not have any kind of wastage after print, I put it into a circular shape, and this thing then becomes the entire logo. Same way over here, the packaging, okay, which is their subsidiary brand. Now, over here, it's a very simple font, Helvetica, that I have used and then modified it. The letter A is like the upward arrow now. It doesn't look A, but it becomes the upward arrow, which is nothing but denotes growth. And if you see the letter G, the font Helvetica itself has a arrow kind of a G. So it also shows like it's going upwards over here. Okay. And over here, the entire thing is nothing but like a box. And it is the letter P because it's all about packaging. And because there are three letters, the packaging, I have got three hexagons. THE, the packaging. So that's how I have tried to denote this particular logo. Clear, everybody? How I am working using all of these ideologies and symmetry in mind? Perfect. As I told you, every color has a meaning associated to it, and we need to understand those meanings. Now, I have very simply put it as one slide, but please go back, go check out my 2 hour session, which goes in depth about color theory. But over here, it's all about knowing in one shot, like what blue color means, what red color means, what black color means. Again, different tint shades and tones denotes different meaning. Okay, a bright red might always relate to danger, but a subtle red in a little bit of pinkish tone might denote love. Okay, whereas a different red like Zomato will talk about passion and hunger. So different shades of it make a different meaning. But today we are not talking about 10 shades and tones. Coming to a random pure color hue, you can see like this is blue denotes trust, smart, calm, faith, natural, stable, and power. And then red is for love, intimacy, energy, sale, passion, anger, hunger. Black for bold, rich, power, mystery, elegance, evil, strength. Green for soothing, eco-friendly, natural, envy, jealousy, balance, restful. Yellow for cheer, attention, childish, fresh, warmth, energy, optimism. Orange for health, action, standout, thirst, wealth, youthfulness, happiness. Pink is for tenderness, sensitive, caring, emotional, sympathetic, love, sexuality. Purple for royal, mysterious, arrogant, luxury, childish, creative, and sadness. So you can see how each color in its proper hue has got different meanings associated. Now, I also see that if you see over here, you can see how each of these brands will actually match to them. Like all these are eco-friendly brands which want to tell that okay, we are very nature friendly or we are very eco-friendly and all of that. And you can see how they have associated that green color into their logo. Okay, all of this they want to talk about hunger and food, particular red color into them. Everywhere they have this red color. Most of the food brand logos will be in red, yellow, orange. Why? Because they either want to talk about hunger, or they want to talk about youth or happiness or youthfulness, or they want to talk about attention, cheer, energy, warmth, all of that. So these three colors are majorly used in the food brands. Clear? And Purvashan has shared one logo in the chat. I will take that up later and do the breakdown of it once we are done with this part. Again, coming to the typography, just a quick glimpse of it. Like we have serif fonts, slab serif fonts, deodot fonts, sans serif fonts, script or handwritten fonts, and decorative fonts. Okay, so these are the six major categories how fonts can be divided into. I will just explain you in very short little brief. Serif fonts are those fonts which have got endings like this, okay, like a base, a kind of a little base. Whereas the slab serif are fonts which have a thicker base, just like a brick. Okay, there you can see they're all like a bricks at the end. And a deodot, they have very thin lines and thin bases, not like the serif. So these are the three little difference, and all of these three are inside the serif font itself. Coming to the sans serif, they have got sharp edges. Okay, at the ends, the edges are very sharp. And the script or handwritten, you would have seen they are cursive or handwritten or calligraphic fonts, and decorative fonts, which are all fancy fonts with fancy elements into it. Okay, so that's a little bit of typography, but in depth, go do check out our video. Font pairing, very, very important if you're into logo designing, because you are going to 100% come across logos where you're going to add taglines to it, or down the line, that logo is has to be used on website. So what are the other fonts that will go perfectly well with your logo? So font pairing is very, very important for any of your logo designing. Again, you can only perfect it with practice. So just an insight for all of you. And with that, as I told you, design principles, you need to have very clear understanding between all of these different 13 design principles, which is nothing but balance, emphasis, contrast, repetition, proportion, movement, white space, rhythm, pattern, hierarchy, variety, unity, and harmony. So again, each and every one of this I have very detailedly explained in my design principles workshop. Go do check it out. Okay. But I'm just giving you an overview that these are the kind of skill sets that you need to build for having a good logo. Coming back to logo construction, now let's deep dive a little bit into this and deep dive a little bit into logo spacing. Okay. Now, Neeraja, I will take your logo example also, and I will tell you what are the mistakes also into it. And if others also would have any of the logos, please send it in the WhatsApp group in the discussion. I'll pick it up from there, or you can share it in the chat over here. How many of you know the difference between raster versus vector? All the first timers. Come on, quickly. Do you all know it? Yes or no? If yes, if you don't know, just put no. The ones who know, I'm sure you know it. But this is very, very important topic in your logo designing or print designing. You all need to understand this very much in detail. Okay, I will show it to you practically. I think we just have two more slides over here, and then we will directly jump into all the practicals of it. So I hope you are all enjoying so far. Yes or no, everybody? Are you all enjoying so far? At least I can get a yes for that. Perfect. Awesome. Coming to raster versus vector. Now, these are two different types of graphics which get created on our digital mediums. But both of them work separately. One of them works based on mathematical calculations, whereas the raster one works based on the pixels per inch. Okay, and they are called as PPI. And if they are printed, they are called as DPI, which is nothing but dots per inch. Okay, so if you know, we all tell that my phone camera is 1080 pixels. What does that mean? That means in a inch, okay, 1 inch by 1 inch, there are 1080 dots of RGB lights. Okay, so there are 1080 dots of RGB lights. Based on that, my picture is getting generated based on those pixel resolution, and I'm getting the final output. Whereas a vector one doesn't calculate your RGB or your pixels. It actually remembers all the paths through which the logo has been created, and those paths will again get recalculated and it will automatically scale. So what happens between the vector and the raster is, As you keep zooming a raster logo, it starts to get blur. But as you keep zooming a vector logo, it will never get blur. It will always remain the same. Let me show you a very simple example. Okay. Again, I will also tell you that each of this have got different file types. Now a vector logo, if I save it as a JPG or a BMP or a PNG, it will by default convert to a raster image. So there are only very few file formats that can retain the vector properties. Those file formats are AI, which stands for Adobe Illustrator, EPS, okay, then you have CGM, PDF, portable document format, SVG, scalable vector graphics, CDR, which is nothing but the Corel Draw file. Okay, so these are all the different file formats that can store the vector properties. Any of these file also if saved as this will automatically convert to raster and they will no more work. So now out of all of these, which files open in our mobile phones? Can you all tell me? Which file can open in our mobile phone default? PDF. Okay. Any other? All the raster will open, but from vector. From the vector, which one will open? I will tell you. PDF and SVG is the only thing that can open. Rest all requires a software to open it. Okay. PDF, we all can open it. SVG opens on any of the browser. But recently, WhatsApp has banned SVG file formats as well because these are those files which are programmatically created, nothing but mathematical calculations. Inside these files, people used to embed virus code and share it on WhatsApp. People used to open, but in the back, it used to install virus into your phone. So that is why, again, SVGs have been banned from past 2 months. Till until then, it was all available to share. But you can always email and put them on your social media or you can put them on any of your website platforms. Now, let's take some big brands, okay? Take some big brand examples. Can you give me some big brand examples? Anybody? Let's take Apple. Okay, if I search for Apple and if I go to Wikipedia, okay, and let's say I go to this, I got this Apple. I'm very sorry. Okay, let's take this Apple. Yeah, you can see the logo used. I click on this logo and you can see the file format over here. What is it? .svg. Again, I click on it. Okay, and I'm over here in this particular logo. Okay, as I keep zooming in, you see I zoomed it 250%, even more. Is it blurring? Tell me. No, right? Not at all. Any edges, it will not blur because it's a vector logo. Okay, now the same thing. Okay, if I search Apple logo, if I go to images and I search for JPEG, okay, I am particularly putting it as JPEG, copy image address. I hope it's a JPEG one. Yeah, this is a JPEG one. As I keep zooming in, did it blur? Yes or no? Yes, everybody? So now you know the difference. Zero blur and a little blurred. Okay. Take any big brand logo. Okay. So even if I take this logo and if I click on it, you can see it says SVG. I can zoom it to any size, zero problem. This is the actual size, 100%. But I can zoom it to any size, there will be zero blurriness because these are called as scalable vector graphics. I'll show you the funny part of this. I saved this file. I just saved it. Okay. And if I open this folder and if I see this particular file, okay, which is here, right click, open with Notepad, and you will be able to see the entire code of that particular file because it is created based on mathematical calculations and code. Okay. Do you see? Can you all see it? This is how scalable vector graphics work. Can you open a JPEG image into Notepad? Like this is a JPEG image. Okay, can I have open with Notepad? I won't even have that option. It won't open. Even if I like take this file, Notepad file, and I drag and drop it into it, it's gone. Nothing can be understood. Whereas this file, you can see everything is understandable because it's a scalable vector graphics. Let's take some brand logo, like company logo or website. Let's say I take Nike website. Okay. Now there's a logo over here. Copy image address, and you can see it is a SVG. All the big brands prominently use a SVG logo for their brands. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So now let us go one more step forward, and I will take you into an other practical journey after a little bit. I hope SVG is clear and raster is clear with each and everyone. Yes or no? Now, simple vector graphics are created with mathematical calculations. Raster graphics are created based on pixels. Clear, everybody? And raster graphics, after a point, will start to get blur, but vector graphics at any given point will not get blur. Why do we create vector files and save it as SVG or PDF? Because tomorrow that logo will get printed across various mediums, a 40 by 40 hoarding, or a big size on a big screen. This logo will still be crystal clear if it's a SVG or a PDF file format which opens across all devices. But if you give them as a JPEG file and tell them, hey, please use this logo and scale it. It was a vector logo only. Okay. Let's say I want to do that. Okay. I save this Nike logo, SVG. Okay. SVG to JPG. I'll just convert a simple logo for all of you. I'm converting, thinking that you are okay to give a JPEG image because it was a vector logo. You now convert it to JPEG. This is the final output. What happened? Started to got blur. As soon as the file format changes, it loses its properties because each file format works in a different compression. We will not go into details of it, but I hope you have got the upper knowledge for this. Clear? Everybody is clear so far? Yes or no? So you all have understood what is the vector versus raster. Now let us go one more step forward. Okay. Now, logo guidelines. What are the things that you need to have in any of the logo guidelines? Okay. Now, these are the 7 things that you can create. So, a lot of people tell that I will provide a logo guide, brand kit, then brand guide, and all of that. But people don't, they merge all of it into one and then tell this is the brand kit, take it. But that's wrong. So, there's also a logo guide that people specifically make. And if you have hired any agency for logo design work only, they will only give you a logo guide and not a brand guide or a brand kit because brand guide and a brand kit includes a lot more items which I have covered in the branding session. But a logo guide only covers these 7 little things, which is the logo system, then the color palette, the typography, the iconography, if any kind of icons that are included as part of the logos or that they should follow, grids and layouts that they should follow, the design templates, like in templates, how and where to place the logo, those kind of possibilities, and the mockups. These are the things that goes as part of the logo guide. What are the things that come in logo system? The primary logo, the variations, dark, light, clear spacing rules, minimum size specifications, file formats like SVG, PS Vector, PNG, raster, all of them. Then this is how it is all created. Like you can see on the black on the vertical logo, the horizontal logo with an icon or just the icon differently. Then comes the color palette where you have the primary palette, secondary palette, neutral palettes, hex codes, RGB codes, CMYK codes, Pantone codes, color ratios, like which color to be used more, and then how it follows 60, 30, 10 percentage generally most of the brands follow. And considering the WCAG guidelines, accessibility guidelines, considering the contrast, in which contrast the logo will work perfect. Okay, so that's all part of your color palette. And just a small little example. Again, over here, if you see, the colors are divided into the ratio 60, 30, 10. So this is 60%, this is 30%, and this is 10%. And you can see the logo in different backgrounds and different colors, how it has to be presented. Typography system, you give the primary typeface of your logo, secondary typeface if it's for your like taglines or subheadings or anything. Then the web safe fallback font. So if you are using SVG logos with fonts, if that font doesn't exist, then how do you, what is the fallback font that you should be using? Then the type scale, if you can provide the type scale, like if the logo is this, what should be your heading size, this size? How do we calculate this? We will understand today. Font weights, line height, letter spacings, regional script pairings. Like if the logo is then translated in native languages or regional languages, what fonts to use. For example, the logo today is all in English, but maybe at some point they might have to change the logo in Telugu language. Then what is the font that they have to use? They might have to change the logo in Hindi language. Now, small little part, but for this thing only, the brand or the agency is charging 1 lakh rupees because they will provide all this. A 5,000 rupee logo designer or a 10,000 rupee logo designer is not going to think through all this and not even going to provide any of these systems or guidelines. That's the little difference. And you can see just like a simple like how enter six weights, what are the that you can use, what is the one that is used for the logo, and what are the letters that look like. Iconography, if any kind of custom icons that match with your logo are important that to be followed, then you provide all of them also along with your logo guide. But generally this goes in a very high end logo design project, but not with all logos. And you can see like some of the brands, you can just looking at this, you can tell which brand is this. Looking at the icons and the colors, you all can easily guess which brand is this. This one is very clearly visible. You can even guess the brand of this. Which one is this? Can anybody guess? Perfect. Zepto. What is the bottom left one? Okay. District. See? Because the color, the branding, the styling has been followed like that. Okay, then you provide the grids and layout systems like what is the spacings, the margins, the specifications, gutters. I am sure you all might be confused. What are these technical terms? Don't worry. As we just continue little forward, you will learn them all. Then you have the layouts and templates for print. If you're printing anything, what should be the position of your logo? What should be the position in your digital layouts? What should be the white spacing around the logo and the alignments that you should follow? So we provided something like this. Now, all of these you can see as per the golden ratio, the logo is either over here, here, or here. And accordingly, they have placed all the elements. Then you also provide them templates, which is like for your social media templates or your carousels, your stores, story templates, your ad creatives, highlight covers, thumbnails, etc. How your logo should be placed. Simple example that we have done for one brand, like we showed them multiple different templates, but you can see at every position the logo is only in the one place because that creates the brand recall value. The logo has to be on the top majority of the time. But we have also created an edge case where you don't want the logo first, but on the side, but you can see still the logo is on the top. So we have ensured that everywhere the logo should be the first element. That is how we need to define for a particular guide. Then the mockups. At the end, this is nothing but just a representational purpose. And this is one step which is really, really important that people miss. I know it takes time to create mockups, but this has become very easy with the help of AI. And this is exactly where your design gets sold many at times. People cannot visualize. We are designers, we can visualize, but the other person is just a client and no design background and cannot visualize. He doesn't have that kind of wavelength or the mindset. For him, if he sees, he believes it. If he gets to see, he understands it. That's why mockups play a very big role in that. Provide as many mockups, and I'm telling you, your projects will easily get approved. And don't give mockups after showing your final designs or your three options. For all the three options, create those mockups. Trust me, the client will get easily convinced. But again, followed by proper narration and storytelling, which again I'll show you how. But you can see some of the examples how a single logo in different mockups has been added. Like a mockup of paperboard logo, if they present it like this, it easily gets sold. Same way, the logo in different areas, how it will get in their packaging, in their ambience, in their store, in their different kind of elements, how it will get embedded. That's what is important for the customer to visualize, and that's what sells your particular brand or the logo. Now, coming to the logo variations, last three more slides, and we get into complete practicals about the construction and the grids. Lot of practicals for the day. So, but this is very important. Any logo that you create, you need to provide all these variations: the primary logo, the secondary logo, the icon version of it, the fave icon version of it, horizontal version of it, vertical version of it, reverse version of it, invert version, social media avatar, watermark version, dark background version, light background version, and a one colored version, whatever is your brand colors. All of this, I have done it for one particular brand, and I'll show it to you how it looks. You see just the logo version, the horizontal version, the vertical version with the icon, vertical version without the icon, in the white, in the black. in the social media, in the fave icon, with the tagline, with the watermark. You can see how it looks. And inside the app icon, you can see. Can you see very clearly? In every touch point, the logo is clearly visible. Correct? Reverse version is nothing but inverting the colors. If the logo is in white color, how it will look it in black color in a different background. Or there's one more. As I go forward, you will understand. Don't worry. But is this particular clear? Everybody? Interesting? Have you created all these versions ever before for your logo? Most of them just create the icon or the vertical and horizontal. That's all. But the biggest test of your logo is the fave icon. If the logo is clearly visible in this, you have sold the logo. Can you see? Though this is complicated, agreed, there are too many elements. Is it still visible in this? Yes or no? Can you all tell? Yes or no? Everybody. Then it's a pass. If it would have not been visible over here, it's a fail. It is still visible in the app icon, right? It's a pass. Coming to logo testing. So, how do we test the logo? We should test the logo in small size, app icon size, billboard size, black and white, printing, laser engraving. If the logo is put on social media, if the logo is put on website header, or the packaging, or the embroidery. This also we have just tested. You can see some example. App icon in different sizes. Okay. In print, in engraving, in any kind of print of elements, in a hoarding, even if we put bad design randomly, but our focus was the logo, not about the design. In the website header, in the embroidery, whether it's clearly coming or not, and in all of this. And then even in engraving, whether it's clearly coming or not. Now, all of this, we have not done it in real. They are all created in system itself, and these are all part of mockups itself. They are all created on system. You all want to learn it? How do we do it? Everybody? Yes or no? Are you all excited? Now, because we are entering practicals of it. Everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Awesome. The ones who stay till the end are the ones who are going to benefit everything. Now, the logo presentation. This is something that you can snapshot how you should present your logo to any of your client. If you have got a logo project and after you have done with all your designing work, how should you send that document or present it to your client? First, start with the problem. What was the problem? Then explain your research, the amount of research that you have done behind this logo. Then show your sketches. Many a times I don't do this now, but it adds value if you are doing it to creative people, otherwise no use. But it's important in your Behance portfolio because people then realize that okay, it's not, this is not the final outcome. You have done a lot of iteration. So show your sketches and how you should present it on your Behance also the same way. Though you send it to the client, but this is how you should present it on your portfolio or Behance as well. Then explain the concept. What is the concept behind whatever logo that you are trying to build? And then you reveal the logo. After you reveal the logo, explain the symbol or the font or the typography, whatever you have done. Then show the construction of that logo, which is what we are going to learn today in more depth. Then the colors, colorful versions, and all of those different forms of colors, typography, and those different types font that you have used. Then the application usage, okay, like how it will work in different applications or scenarios, and the mockups finally. This is how you should have this 11 different pages as part of your deck. Okay, it maybe one or two steps ignored, but at least any of these 9 steps are really, really important. Okay, I will show it. Don't worry, I have everything. I'm going to show all of it practically. Okay, so we will get to it. And common mistakes to avoid, the last slide. Okay, so keep in mind a simple logo works more perfectly than a fancy one. So never ever use too many colors because remember, every color you add in print is also an added cost. Just because it's looking good over here, don't put it because you need to consider a lot of other scenarios. You are going to print that logo, do embroidery of that logo, going to put it on various different applications. So everywhere the cost increases because of just one color being added. In print, there is something called as cylinders that we create or the stencils that we create. Okay, for each of this to get printed in colors and they get printed in step by step process. Every color add is an extra step and an extra cost and an extra cylinder. Each cylinder can cost up to 20k to 40k to 1 lakh. Remember that. Okay. So avoid too many colors. And if you look at all the big brands, many big brands, they will generally be in black and white colors. Okay, because they want to save huge on the printing cost because they are consumer goods. They have to do it across the globe, and different regions have different printing configurations, but black color is universal across all. So they try and keep the logo in simple colors. Avoid poor spacings, avoid too much of detail in your logos. Don't try to bring every concept into the logo, but sometimes if it is working in the smaller size also perfect, but otherwise you need to focus on the simplicity along with the storytelling which works well. Avoid clip arts, never use raster graphics. Following trends blindly, don't do that. If it works, okay, but generally don't do that. Then don't use any generic icons. Most importantly, don't copy existing logos. Take inspiration, but don't copy. How to steal it also I'm going to show you. They tell, right? Uh, Steal like an artist. You would have heard it, right? So what does an artist steal? Artist can steal the idea, but then also has to craft on top of it. I will show you a very clear example of it. Do not use overusing of gradients. Bad typography. Maybe very perfect logo, but bad typography, it's still a failure. And AI logos without refinement. Make AI logos, use AI for inspiration, modify it, change it, and add your refinement to it, because whatever is AI giving, that means it exists somewhere, it is just combining with somebody and giving it to you. So take ideas from it, but always use your own refinement. Clear so far, everybody? Any doubts before I get into practicalities? No, right? Clear? Okay, perfect. So I will take a very simple example of work for my brand Nexu. Okay. We all saw this logo, right? Did we all see this? Does the logo look good? In visual, it's for a educational school. It's for a school, university. Okay. It's a school which is called as Nexu, and they have a particular called as academics and skills approach. So they created the ASCII approach. Okay. That's something that they have as a concept. And they had nothing else. They only told me one thing, that we want to make the person stand out. That was the only thing. Like any student enters our school, at the end of his 10th class or degree, that person is going to stand out. This is the only thing that they have given about their school as an info. Based on that, how the research went through, how the everything went through. Do you all want to see it? How it all happens? Are we ready for it? Yes or no? Come on, I need some enthusiasm in the chat. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's go with it. Now let me search. Okay, I'll open this. Okay, this is what I have. Everything with all the options that we created, all the colors that we created. What is the concept? Now, how did we sell the concept to the client? Everything I'll show it to you live practically. Okay, first research. Now, this is the document for research, which I collected my research on Notion. Previously, I used to use Notion. Nowadays, I use Adobe Firefly boards. Okay. So, can I open? Okay. Now, immediately, as soon as I did, I started searching for educational logos. Okay. There'll be a lot of educational logos. So, I wanted to check what are those educational logos that I can look into and have it over here. So I'm just loading it again in an incognito so that I don't disturb the other slides. So if you can see, these are all the references that I was just browsing into. I will open each and every one of them. The logo that was given to me was Nexu. Okay, I went through searching Behance for 2 days, collecting the best branding projects for schools and universities. Okay. So again, what you collect as your collection, because at the end of the day, I'm going to share my research also with the client. I want my client to also see all of this because a lot of work has gone behind it. I want him also to understand so that his ideology and wavelength also increases. So these are all some of the references only that I am opening over here. Then I collected four of them separately because maybe I like them the most. Though I have all of this, I've collected four of them separately, maybe because I like them the most. I then went through Pinterest also. Okay, then I went through Shutterstock also. Then these are some more Pinterest examples itself that I have collected for different purposes of that particular logo. Then I have collected different items like for the letter E, for the colors, for the nature, and different elements of that. And then I have collected something that I came across based on some educational websites only as I was searching. what are the things that makes a person all rounder, because at the end they were focusing that the person at the end is an all rounder and stands out. But what are those things that make them an all rounder? And futuristic design also, I just opened maybe something that I liked it, I have just put it over here. Now I'll go first on this. So I, six dimensions of human personality. Now this is something that I found on the internet, because this is what makes them a person all rounder. It is it intellectual, is physical, emotional, aesthetic, social, and spiritual. All of these, if the person is good at, it becomes a good human, or a good personality automatically gets created. Same thing in different image: emotional development, social development, moral development, cultural development, physical development, and intellectual development. These are the six different elements that has to go together for a child's growth. Okay. Now, this was the ideology that I wanted to bring into the logo. But with that, I went on to see what are the some of those university logos and how they have been created. Most of those logos will be shield only. But I wanted to see inside the shield also what is it that they have done. Okay. So I'm just seeing, and you can also see with this how we are seeing the branding project that they have presented. Each and every one you can see over here. Another logo that I'm just seeing, maybe just education. Okay, the book. Okay, just the book, and then they have done with all of this. This is what I'm talking about. What is this? Why are they adding this grid lines and all of this? We will understand it in practical. Okay. And then let's say one more thing. Another one. Okay, because I was searching for N educational logos, Nexa logo, Nexu logo, all of that. This is another thing that I came across. But this doesn't relate with my brand. It doesn't look like an educational logo. I need to keep in mind that tomorrow, not always the text will come, only the icon also has to represent it. Okay. Then I'm seeing some more logos in depth, how each and every element has added a meaning into it. You can see, right? How the brands denote different meanings of different items. Another very simple one, but how this logo got created using the hexagonal grid. Today we are going to learn that as well. So just stay tuned, don't jump away. Okay, and this is some example of that. Then we have like another school, but because it is medical, they had the medical symbol and the emblem, but a medic school. Okay, you can see. Then you have, okay, this one, the session will go until 11:30 to 11:45. Then we have this another university logo. Again, they collected four different elements into it with having different meanings into it, and so forth. And then based on these meanings, you see they have created patterns for their school and all of that, patterns across uniform and all of that, very nicely done. So I was like, okay, this is also good one. Then some more, okay, bad one, but just wanted to see, like, tree is very widely used in education, like growth and all of that, and that aspect, but just an example. So I'm giving different options to the client also. You just see all of this and then you collect four best what you like, so that I get to know his taste, because each person has a different taste and you cannot know what is the taste of the person just randomly by talking. Okay, they will, otherwise if you don't understand their taste, they are just going to ask you more and more options. Rather you give all of these options and then drill down to know what is their taste. Based on that, you then start designing. In any logo design, it has to be a good communication that you need to keep back and forth. Now this is just a textual logo but doesn't work well for my brand. So skilled, okay, they tried, but from a design principles point of view and the spacing point of view, this is not what is going to work for my brand. So again, cancelled, but still you can see how different companies and brands have created entirely out of it. How nicely, just with those lines, geometrically they have created everything, you can see. So another one, they have just used a star with too many this thing, font itself being the logo. Okay, another university logo, maybe something nice. Okay, but still doesn't work. I can go so on and so forth. But I was liking this because the letter U was coming. So I'm getting the letter U. So in Nexu, I have NEXU, I have the letter U altogether. So I was finalized that, okay, let me go with that shape and proceed further. Some of them I have even saved it for the color combination and things like that. But this is how we create all of this. Okay. And before creating on itself, I have shared all of this research document. So I create this document and then I send it to the client. I tell the client, and then I sit with the client on a call and then I ask them in real, what are those ones that you like? Okay. It's just about brainstorming and ideation. It's not that we are designing your logo. It's more about different university logos that I have collected. What is it that resonate with you? That is more important. Okay. And then let's going another one. I'm just going randomly. Okay, you can see Okay, about a person that is standing out. I was now searching about people that stand out. Another school, digital education, they played it very nicely with this kind of puzzles. Very well done, but doesn't work in Indian use cases because Indian people and Indian parents don't use so much of their mind. Then another logo about medical and all, how they have combined and come up with this. Again, maybe I would have saved it for colors. Another one, entire thing is like a U, but no border, nothing, but has different meanings associated into it. All of that. And you can see how they're presented. I'll share this document with all of you. This link, this Notion link, I'll share it with all of you. You can go through all of these because a lot of good things have been collected. Because it was talking about Nexu, I'm just seeing how the letter N has been utilized to show forward and growth, but doesn't work in my case. But still, I had collected it for reference. Some of the project is gone, but yeah, some more. How educational social media creatives have been done for a student to stand out, maybe for that reference. Yeah, this is also for that reference only. Printables and the guide, how they have created the U letter with that arrow upwards to stand out, and how entirely from that U and arrow they have created this, all of it. So nicely they have done it. Okay, the entire logo kit. And some more on the education, just using the wave element, but the wave goes across all the things as they create their branding and identity. But you can see they have nicely presented logo test across all the different use cases, and the colors, the typography, and the wave in all their images and pictorial to stand out. The social media also, the wave continues, you can see over here. So this is how we are thinking. Okay, so do you want these kind of elements? I'm discussing with the client on the call back then. And then just last two more to see, like just an arrow up, but you can see how 10x. I like this x over here, and this is like, okay, moving forward. So the student is moving forward in different directions. Okay, then how that one element of x they have utilized over here, and how they have created all of these different positioning of social media creatives. Just an example. So this is how I had created references so that I can have conversations on different topics with the client and analyze what is it that you like more. Whether you want to have a batch, whether you want to have the name itself being the logo, or what is it. It gives me a kind of clarity with the client. Now that this part is done, then we log down. Then there's an other set of Pinterest links that I've collected. I would like to show you. So I'm taking inspirations from all of these guys. Okay. And so U marks. I'm searching for U marks also because I'm trying to get inspiration from this. Okay, what will work? Okay, another U mark. You can see I'm trying to take inspiration. Let me shift this document in the logged in version. Okay, objective interpreting meanings of different elements. Uh, yes, a lot of research work goes. Ayushi, how do you stay unbiased or objective while interpreting the meanings of different elements? Very simple. I am interpreting because it's all the concept is inside me. After the thing is done, I need to ask five other people. Even if two are able to interpret it right, then maybe I'm in the right direction. It's all on the other people who has to get it right. Okay, I'll open these links over here behind the research itself. Okay, and because I want you all to see how we do the research, and then still like an artist. Okay, so I'm seeing, okay, the letter U, nature, how they have combined, and all of it, because there was a point where the school principal was telling that I want the letter U, but at the same time when I make houses, now he's thinking big because he will have four different houses. What about I make each house as a one element of nature, like mountains, like forest, like what beach, like that. So he was thinking on that lines. So I started just researching from that angle also, if nature emblem logos, how it can come like. Okay. Then nature emblem logos, how it could come like. Okay, this is how we were researching. Okay, I like this dots also because I have six different elements of a person. So six dots could add a lot of value. Instead of five, I will make it six, but it could add a lot of value. So one inspiration or idea stole from here. Okay, something from here. Okay, I like this. Okay, education. I want to bring this element also of education. Okay, none of this works. Then this is gone. Okay, let's. Okay, arrow moving forward. I like this in different directions. I wanted. Again, arrows only. Again, I like this X. I really like this as X because, and technically, if you see my final logo, this X is also part of it. I was just seeing if the person is growing, happy, or things like that. On the person side, I was doing the research how I can show the person is happy or things like that. Again, with the different elements of person only that I'm searching. I'm searching N like this. I'm searching person. Again, person only I'm searching. Person only I'm searching. From this, I got some idea. I took this and I translated this in my logo. I'll show you. So, okay. So we will keep this also. I was seeing all different kinds of views that could be used across my batch or the logo. Again, this is the nature part. I can close this. And this is like again, another X that I was just seeing how it could be used. This was all part of my research. I spend more time in research and then very less part time in designing. My designing would get completed in 20-30 minutes, 10 different options. But that is because I have done ample of research, clarified from where what I want to pick, how I want to embed all of this, and make the logo. Did you all get through the research so far? Everybody clear with the research? Yes? Okay. Now let's go to the next step, okay, which is like making the version of the logos. Okay, so I will not go to the final logo. So maybe I will go to Nexu version 1 or okay, let's open the AI file uh, so that you all get to see how the AI file also looks like because nothing is final. From this, we pick all the ideas, then we get going and then we modify it and then we keep translating it. So let me open Illustrator and then show it to you all live. And then these are all the different types of logos that we have created. Okay, so I'll open this document here. Let me close some of, oh, okay, I'll keep this one. I'm just going to keep some of it and this one I can close, this I can close, this I can close, this I can close, this I can close. Okay. Okay. So now that I have this open, let's go back and continue on Illustrator itself. Okay. So I will come back to this. I'll open my Illustrator file, how it started. A very simple insights for all of you. Okay. You can see how this logo looks like. I'm just trying to see. Okay, somebody made the logo, but I was just doing a this thing of it. I'm trying to take all the elements, trace all of those different things. Okay. Trying to get all of this. Again, see, you can see references taken, all of this. I like this reference also, which I would have taken. I'm trying to get that person shine, person do all of this. Trying to play with different fonts, different lines, objects, elements, spark. Again, you can see how I'm playing around with all of these elements. Okay. Then I'm trying to play with different fonts, also still not working. And then finally, with after a lot of iterations. Okay. Let me go ahead and open this document which I was just trying around. Okay, maybe I can have this U being highlighted. But again, how did I come to this thing also? I'll explain you. Then I was trying this another version. If you see, this is not filled. This is filled. Looks like a book. The U being like that. Then this is like here we have gaps and all of this. Here it's like some globe and in a different way. Here again, the globe in a filled form in a different way and all of it. Still not working. Okay. I was only not happy. And I was like still working further. I was trying for icons, different types of icons that I could play with. You can see like if we could try different icons and play around with the icons, then I understood, okay, let's make the X being the X factor because it's all about student standing out. So figuring out the X factor of the student. So I started to highlight the X. Okay. And then I was playing around with different types of icons, trying to denote or get meanings out of it and play around with that. Then now I'll open the concept document so that you understand how the entire thing worked. Okay. So because I then have a lot of other things. So this is how I presented it to the client finally. So let's see the client present. So let's next to logo concept. Client had given me existing competitors, so I took their logos as well, whoever are their existing competitors. Then next to the Akasi approach, I put in very clear future focus. The phrase future ready learning directly addresses your mission to prepare students for tomorrow's challenges. Dynamic skills, the inclusion of ever growing global skills reflects adaptability and the ability to evolve with global competitiveness. Holistic approach, infusing academics with life improving skills, ties in the practical and transformative aspects of education. This is what is the Akasi approach, is the full form academics plus skills. That's how this was created. Now, aspects of students' development. I showed you that image in the first. I took those six aspects: physical development, intellectual development, emotional development, social development, moral development, and cultural or spiritual development. Now, these are the six aspects that I have taken in place. Then, the logo messaging. Nexu, empowering students through holistic development, helping them discover their unique or X factor skills, and preparing them for the future opportunities. Nexu nurtures talent, fosters growth, and illuminates the path of success. Okay, path to success. And then I reveal the logo. Now, inside this logo, we will break it down and you will understand how all of these concepts came together. Now, if you look at this, I have taken this inspiration. Okay, this is the inspiration of the person imbibed over here, but flipped it a little bit. This is the X inspiration that I have taken, which I have it over here. Okay, and the same X is part of my font as well as Nexu. And let us go forward and understand how this entire logo is working. So the logo meaning that the student at Nexu undergoes all the areas of development and figures out his or her X factor skills and thus be future ready or successful in the competitive world. That means over here, these are the six different areas that the student goes through to figure out the X factor. A student goes through all the six to figure out the X factor and to be competitive and successful in the world. So that is nothing but I denoted with the help of Spark. This circle is nothing but the world for me. So through all of this, he figure out the X factor and at the end got successful in the world. That's how the logo meaning entirely came. Going to even more depth, we had the letter N over here. So this one create letter N. If you start drawing to its corners like this, so you will have the letter N. This is student and the letter N. Then you have the letter E over here, which is nothing but the book that we were trying to show because it's all about education. So the letter E, this was again inspired from one of the reference. If I had shown you, you would have seen it was part of Illustrator over here somewhere. Maybe somewhere. Yeah, you can see. This is how I took the inspiration of letter E, okay, which was imbibed over here. Then the letter X is already there, and the entire thing is like the letter U and the overall letter U. So I had all the letters combined, and then I have all these areas of six areas, which is physical development, intellectual development, emotional development, social development, moral development, and cultural development. At the end, shine in the world or success. So this is how it is there. So entirely the concept and the story has come into the logo. Okay, then the logo in a different ratio. Then the customized font, the same X which I have used in the logo is part of the font as well, Nexu. And then the logo with the name, how it goes, and the clear focus in comparison. Now, if you compare with all these schools, this is still standing out very clearly and it is clearly visible. And then again, the logo, just the normal logo, and the mock-ups of it, if it is done tomorrow, how it is going to look like. And the X I have highlighted over here because they want to figure out the X factor in all directions. So that's how I sold the entire thing to the client. Now you see how the research got imbibed into a storytelling, from that storytelling into a logo altogether. Do you all see? Yes or no? Everybody. Did you all understand how this entire logo was done? Isn't it amazing? Good. All of this was done in a span of 2 weeks. Openly telling you all. I'd spent good amount of time, like 2 days of research or 3 days of research. Then we had a call with the client. Then I'm sitting working. I do have my illustrations in the book. Somehow I was trying to figure out if I can find it. I found the illustration, but I scribbled a lot on top of it. Not sure if you all can see this. Oh my god. Wait. Is it visible? Though it is a lot of scribble, but no worries. So there were a lot of illustrations that were done just to get it right. So this is how the entire logo concept came into the reality. Now let us go into one more step forward and a little bit of practicality. good amount of research theory part is over. Now let us go in depth and go about how to do it in Illustrator and how we did all of this. Okay. Now, obviously, making logos, we need to learn Illustrator. That's for sure. But if you don't know, then do you can learn it from our other session when we try to conduct it again. I'll plan to do currently. We did do one session on Illustrator mastery, and this is one of the sessions of that. Previously, we had 6 other sessions from the basic, completely learning Illustrator, and I'm sure there are a lot of students from that as well. So the ones who didn't get a chance can join one more session of ours. But for time being, let us go and understand certain things about a logo. I can also show you one more logo that we had done for another company, Transfright. So these were all the different options that I was only trying. Okay, the company name was Transfright. They are into global logistics, which they are into delivering of logistics, which is through shipment. But down the line, they want to scale to air, water, land, everything. So we were trying to figure out concepts for them. You can see how this T and F got created from a cube. We were trying to see what will work the best. I know air is there, but water, land is missing. We tried to do something, but this is more in the water, like the ship, because their main focus is in the water. They are all into shipments of cargo, which is the containers. So this was the company logo that we had, but we had overdone all of this over a period of time. Then with iterations, I will directly jump into the final this thing that this logo is what was the final logo, which we were able to give it to them, and it is live on their website also. It is very simple, and to just communicate the entire meaning, because it is across the globe, the circle element has been there. They do it with the help of shipment, the ship. You can see the ship's shape over here, and because it's all about the containers going from one place to other place, this is the container which is moving forward. So indirectly, even a very simple geometrical logo like this is having a lot of meaning. And to sell this logo to the client, we had just shown this one image, and it was all sold. Just look at this. One image, your ship going forward, the containers, and the world. How does it look? Everyone. Crazy, right? How the concept got installed, ideated, and then got sold. That makes it a global logo now. I have the container, I have the box, I have the shipment going forward and across the globe. Okay? Very simple logo. And but previously we complicated it a little bit with the font as well. Like we tried customizing the font with like A going forward, the I being the parcel, and across this also being the parcel. Moving forward, transferred and all of that. But with all the iterations that we did and all of that, though we tried with this with multicolors and things like that and all of that, finally we ended up with a very clean, simple logo, which is a shipment going forward across the globe. Your containers are being delivered at the right time. Simple. Okay. So very good question, Priyanshu. How do we decide? Uh, that's exactly where you have something called as brand archetypes, which we covered in our previous session. And based on the use case, now this one, I also knew that this will go across various containers and things like that. And never ever they are going to go with a just done icon. So it will always go with the name. So I knew that either the name also has to be like a logo. That's why we were doing something like this. If we don't use the icon, the name should still have some meaning to it. So we were trying this fancy fonts, but then later we realized, okay, let's stick to the logo itself, and the logo and the name will go together. It's what we know. And even if they create an app down the line, they will just have this as the logo. So sometimes we need to understand the use cases beforehand and then make where also the applications. That's what I told you, right? In the presentation, you need to know all the applications. Where all is your logo going to be used? Now coming to the some other parts. Now this thing, I've purposefully kept it wrong. I'm going to take a new file altogether. Okay. And then we are going to understand how to decide the spacings and things like that. Now this is the logo that I have over here. Let's say I make it in black color. Now, this particular text height, okay, any cap letter is called as the cap height, okay, so which is the height from this start point to this end point over here. So, this part, this line is called as the cap height. Now, what we do is generally I will also explain how we calculate the spacing based on golden ratio and how we calculate the space using this particular letters as well. So let us understand that because that is very important to make the logo stand out right and proper. I will just start drawing lines first. Okay. I'm drawing the lines over here. And then I will draw the second line at the bottom most. Okay. And the brand archetypes we did cover in the previous session of branding blueprint. Go do check it out on our YouTube. It's all available. Uh, Now I will take this. Okay. Delete this cap height. Copy this. Paste it again. Just duplicating here. Copying, paste it again. Duplicating it here. Okay. Let's for a moment take this to like a blue color so that we can easily see this. Okay. And I will make this to 100% and increase this height a little bit bigger. And this thing I'll make it to, let's say, this much. So you all can see these lines now. Now these are randomly placed. Now I'm making equidistant. So I'm distributed it properly. Now this is the height, okay, which I have, this box height. Okay, I'm drawing a square here. Okay, is the square which I need to use as my guiding spacing element, okay, between the text and the icon. So I'll take the square, I put it here, okay, and this icon, I'll just move it exactly matching this. So this is one way to get the spacing right between your icon and the text. But my icon size, let's say this is the icon size, for example. Does it look good, visually appealing, this logo? Can you all confirm? Is this right? No, right? Not at all right. So how do I know what size should I take this? So I'm going to show you all the different methods, how we calculate. So see it very carefully. This is what is all about the logo construction. Okay. The logo spacing. We are talking about logo spacing, not the construction, the spacing. So I'll duplicate these two lines again, copy it on top. Okay. One on top. And I'll copy one more at the bottom. Okay, so I want to get the exact spacing, so I'll take both of them, join it, and then delete one extra. So this is the spacing that I got in top and bottom based on this itself. Now I can extend these lines. This is where my logo should fit. So if I have my logo, my base should fit over here, my height should fit over here. And now this spacing, I've got this already, which is nothing but the gap between these two. I put it between the letter. Okay. I'm touching the letter T over here. I have touched the letter T. Yeah. And I'll touch this particular endpoint over here. My bounding box square. Now, this is the right way to get your logo ratio right. So this is exactly what they will present online. These lines are for that. Okay, then I'll duplicate this. I'll just delete the lines. Now you have the exact spacing, exact logo size and everything. Got it? Why these lines are being shown in the spacing? Is everybody clear? Then there is a second type of lines that people put, the bounding box. Okay, let's see that. Now that I have this, okay, I'll group this, I'll duplicate this. Now I'll take the second type. Now they will touch this over here to here and they touch it to the T. Okay, this is the other type of bounding box that most of the people create. Once I have this, I will take the same little spacing between these two. Okay. I'll copy this. I'm pasting it here at the corners of these. Okay. And then based on this, I'm copy pasting this. I'm making this one join this edges. Now, this is nothing but the minimum spacing that I need to maintain for all my elements in and around the logo. Okay. That means, for example, I'll show it. Now you got this. So what we generally do, we will Again, duplicate this, delete these four boxes, delete even this thing. I will select all of this. I'll fill this, select all of this, right click, make clipping mask. So you can see I now got a bounding box at the outside. Okay. That means now wherever I use my logo, for example, I copy this, a new file. Let's say I'm creating a letterhead or a social media creative or whatever I'm creating. Okay. Wait, I'll take a white one. Yeah. So I'm taking a new A4, or let's say I'm taking a business card, a better example. Let's say a business card. So I'll go by centimeters, business card size. I'll make it to 9.2 by 5.4, create, and I'll paste it. I'll make this smaller as per my size. But how much should be the minimum spacing from top to bottom? I just do left and bottom. The spacing is already decided inside the logo. So this is the minimum spacing that I should have from the edges. And if let's say I'm adding any element, okay, let's say I want to add a line over here of any color, small line also. How much I should just put it exactly over here. So that is the spacing that I'm defining with my logo. You see? So everywhere I'm going to have equal spacing top, bottom, left, right, and then I can have anything over there. If I make this smaller and then bottom and again left, then maybe I can move this thing also touching the bounding box accordingly. Then maybe move this one. So that is the guide of spacing that we provide. Okay, so if I come back to my this particular slide about logo spacing, you all can understand now that what is the spacing that we have created for the logos. Now this is now again there are multiple methods. Okay, so one is this method of taking the space between these two. You see this one and then creating that space. Okay, the second method that generally many others follow is they take the logo itself. So I'll ungroup all of this. I will release the clipping mask. Okay, I'll delete this. Now I can even copy this logo itself, paste it here. Now, depending on different use cases and application, I can create a size of this square, whatever it is. Okay, this is a square. Creating what? Please repeat for creating. Can you please repeat creating clipping mask? Okay, very simple. Whichever object that you have, let's say this one, I'll take this one again, duplicate it. Okay, take a box, draw it on top of it. Whatever you want to clip, that should be at the back, and with which shape you want to clip, it should be in the forward. Select all the elements, right click, make clipping mask. Okay, that's how the clipping mask gets created. And if you want to release the clipping mask, right click, release clipping mask. It will get released. There will be a box which is invisible because there is no fill and no stroke. You can always delete it. Clear? Now, coming to the second method of the bounding box, okay, how this outside bounding box gets created is by using the logo size itself and creating the logo in all the four directions and that space. You can see Microsoft logo and that space. Reddit, they have just followed the bounding box of the space over here or between these two. Yeah, the cap height, and then they have taken that space. Over here, the space between this, the way we calculated over here with the four lines, and then this box getting created. So this thing only, now it if you present it like this in your presentation guide and then copy this and put them also here like this, and let's say I select the logo and I make the logo opacity to 30 and take all of these colors. Okay, and let's say I change it to gray. Let's say this color and this color I need to change it to gray, and then it looks like, oh, so much technical knowledge he has got, right? It just looks technical, but this is how the people create all these grid lines for you to get an idea. Now you see my grid line is perfectly created. Clear? Everybody? What are these lines for? What are these spacings for? Why do we use this? Is everybody clear? Yes or no? Everyone? Awesome. Now, let us go one more step forward of a different method of how to create this spacing and the sizing. Okay? Coming to the other method, I'm not going to take all of this. So, people will show it like this, and then finally this. So, you are like, oh, so nicely presented. Everything is so nice. Everything is so nice. I'll just group this and I'll just make the center line. Oops, sorry. Grouping this. Okay. Yeah. And you're like, wow, so nicely presented everything. So, this is how sometimes it's just about presentation skills, how you present it. Now, going to the other method, which is another important thing. Let's say I ungroup it. I have my icon ready, I have my font ready. How do I get the right spacing, right alignment? I showed you for the side. Same thing goes on the top also. Okay. So they will be recording available on YouTube. So don't worry, Anand. We are going to upload it on YouTube, the entire session. We don't clip anything. I can again copy this, paste it, get the height on top, and then paste this logo. But what should be the logo size be? Again, following this, I'm copying this itself, pasting it here. Okay. Now coming to this, let's say I go like this, center align this. Now let's say I done it. Now if you see over here, you are like, hey, no man, this looks so small and this looks bigger. Visually, it is not appealing. Though I followed the guidelines, okay, I'm purposefully doing it wrong so that you all get an idea. So, what is it that I have to do it? So, for these kind of upper ones, all we have to do is again, I'm going to take the top grid itself, copy this, duplicate this, add four of these, okay, ungrouping all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am duplicating it over here. Okay. I bring it here and another 4 of it. Equidistanted, not yet, but let me equidistant it with this. Oops. Yeah. Now take this. So totally 8. The spacing is already there for me because of the grid. Make this big. And then now if I take this logo, the blue part and the textual part, I just have to center align it. Now it looks visually up. You can see the difference. Which one looks better? Top one or the second one? One or two? Everybody. One or two? Quick. Two, right? So understood how the grid is created for horizontal logos, how the grid is created for the vertical logos. Yes. Now let's go and understand the second method of it. I don't know the size of it. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know the size of it. It's random. How do I calculate? Now we can use the second method, which is the golden ratio method. Take this height, transform. I'm seeing the height of this. Okay. First, I'll open the rulers, right click, convert it to pixels, transform. I can see it's 36 pixels. Let me make it to round off to 38 pixels. Okay. This is 38. This also, first I will change it to 38. Okay. This is 38. Okay. We'll do the vertical one first. Sorry, horizontal one first. So I have this 38 aligned center. Now this 38, take it, the height into, so I'm putting the asterisk, 1.618. That's the ratio of golden ratio. So 38 into whatever is the pi value, which is 1.618, or the golden ratio value. Enter. Now this is as per the golden ratio. I have got this as per the golden ratio, the font and this, which is pleasing to my eyes. Now this gap also. How do we get this gap? Again, we can, another method is take the width of any single line like this. I can draw this one square like this. Okay. And pull it out. Place it over here. Okay. And join it. Join my bounding box, not the shape, the box. Delete this. Middle align this. And my logo is ready. There will be difference between this method to this method, but visually both will be appealing. Okay. Visually both will be appealing and you will get the output. Now, the same thing, if I want to make it for horizontal version, take this, put it on top, again just multiply it by 1.6.8 into 1.618 bigger, and my vertical horizontal version is also ready. Center align, spacing for this thing, again the same thing, take the space of this, put this, get it right, delete this, center align this, done. Did you all get it? So now whatever you're calculating the spacing or the grids is based on the golden ratio, which is 1.618. Clear how this thing works, everyone? Yes or no? Everybody? Yes, no, yes, no. Come on, guys. I'm putting all my efforts for you guys. Awesome. Can we get more yeses? I just see 7, 8 yes in the chat. Come on, come on, come on, quickly. Okay. Now let's come to the last and creative part, which is again more on Illustrator. Are you all ready for some more magic and learnings? Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on, quickly. Okay. At the same time, I knew some people had sent their logos in the chat. The chat is with so many yes and no. Can you all send it again? I will then pick those up and then we will break down those logos for all of you. I got one logo. Okay. So I am going to copy it. Let's see if it pastes over here. Okay. I got one logo. Next coin. Okay. Let's see the other logo also that I had received. Yeah. This logo, copy, paste it. Okay. I've got the other logo and I had another logo, copy, paste it. Okay. I've taken the three logos that I had got as references previously. Okay. I'm going to come to grids. Don't worry. That is the next part. That's why I'm taking this. And yes, so let's go ahead now. I am now going to come. There is something called as logo construction grids. Okay. So there are multiple different types of grids, and we are going to understand how these grids are very, very important in our logo design journey. I am going to give all of this file to you as well. It's a combination of 46 different types of logo grids. Okay, I call it as 45. These are all the different types of logo grids that have been pre-created. Okay, for all of you. Okay, this is what also I use for my client logos. Different types of grids. Now, how does this grids work? Okay, let us understand. Now, let's say I take this simple grid. Okay, this one. I am using this grid. Copy this. New file. Okay, and I'm creating this. You all will get it. You all have to stay till the end to get all of this. Everything is for free. Don't worry. I'm not going to sell anything to all of you. It's all free. Okay. I'm going to make this smaller. Firstly, uh, there's a properties. I don't want to, scale. I want to scale my strokes and effects. I'm just clicking anywhere outside in properties so that now what happens? See this also very clearly. Okay. Selecting all, if I make this small, you see all my strokes became thick. It did not scale. It is still 1 pt only. Okay, so that is wrong. So I want my those also to scale. So firstly, I'll take another A4 size rather. Okay, I'm creating an A4 size and we'll paste this grid, which is good enough. Okay, now if I have this scale strokes and this enabled, even if I make this small, it doesn't change any of it. It changes the value automatically, but the thickness also remains the same. Okay, with this, I select the shape builder tool. Okay, over here, and I can start designing my logo, guys. Let's say I want to make a crazy S logo. Are we ready for it? Yes, no, yes, no. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Okay, S logo. Okay. So I will just try and take randomly, I'm just going. Okay. Uh, Sorry, I think I went wrong. So I'll again, first I need to analyze my grids, how I want to create the S for my requirement over here. Okay. So okay, now I have a clarity. So I'll have to go like this, then come here, here, and then yeah. Okay, so now I have a clarity. So I'll now, based on my grid structure, I'll start creating. Okay, I went here all the way. Then I go down. Then I grow here. Okay, then I go down. One more step down, and I start taking this grid. Okay, so and one step out. So I've got my S shape that I'm working on. I'm now I have to refine my grid. So I'm just joining the things that I want. And let's say I want to include all of this. I don't mind. Just randomly, I'm just doing it, guys. But you can properly plan and also do it. And let's say I go one step. Did I take something wrong? Yes, I took something wrong. I went to the, I had to go to this circle, but I ended up going to this circle. So I'll again control Z it. Okay. We'll, so we need to be very clear what we are trying to create. So first, what I at times do is I take a new layer on top of this. Okay, taking the brush tool, and I will draw which all shapes I want to use. So let's say I go the S from here. Okay, I go here, then I go till here, then I go all the way to these squares, then I go all the way till here and till here maybe. Am I getting the correct S? No. So somewhere I've got wrong the grid. So again, I'll have to structure it rightly. So maybe I'll go with a simple S like this. Okay. Got it. Okay. So let's say I take with this one itself. So I'll just reduce its opacity to 20. Okay. I'll paste this on the new layer. I'll lock this layer. I'm back to this layer. So I'll now follow this grid lines. Okay. So I can just select all of this shape builder, but I'll have to go one step down. Okay, I got my shape. I'm just refining my shape little bit. Okay, and then let's see how the entire shape turns out. Okay, I've got my shape, but because I took with a not ending thing, it has got some mistakes. But now I can further go ahead, refine the extra edges that I don't need. Okay, I'm just trying randomly, guys, but it takes a little bit of patience and time. And then let's say I convert this to outline. I've just got a random logo like this created out of the grids. Let's try with some other grid because this is a little difficult grid, but I've collected a lot of ideas on YouTube how you can do it. But let's take some simple grid like this. Okay. Yeah. And you can go like this. But again, everything with grid, you will have to go draw with a brush tool, one more step, get a clarity of what you're trying to create. So I can go Okay, all the way here. Then maybe I want to go this. Okay, then maybe I want to go this. Okay, then this, then this. Okay, maybe I want to bring this one over here. Maybe this could be my logo, one of it. Whatever shape that I'm trying to create randomly. Okay, so I'm just taking ideas like this. Okay, then take this shape builder tool. I think I've done some. Yeah. It is into a clipping mask. I'm releasing the clipping mask. Now your shape builder will work better. And now you can start working. And it's always better that you work in a fill so that you understand what all you are joining like this. See, it is joining, right? You can keep filling like this and then proceed making all your other types of decisions as I keep going. Okay, let's say my diamond is ready. I wanted a cut over here, but now I missed it. Okay, but that's okay. I will join it over here. Okay, let's say this is random logo that I've created based on grids, and you can see how we have extracted it. Now, I know I messed it up here, but I want to just cut it. I'll just draw a line tool over here, straight line, objects, path, divide objects below. Now they became two, duplicate, transform, reflect. Okay, done. I can then use Pathfinder, join it, and my logo will be done. Understood? Yes or no? Yes or no? Clear. Okay. Again, then now that I've got this, I can then modify anything. Let's say I take a circle, or depending on the meaning, I go here, I put it half circle over here, go in this, minus it. Okay, done. My my some random logo for a jewelry brand could be ready. It's like the happy person, your diamond. And maybe I can refine this edges to a little bit of rounded. I can play around with that. Got it? Are you all understanding how this works? Let's take another grid. I've collected a lot of use cases also of how you can use this grid, guys. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to follow this grids only, but it requires a little bit of practice. Okay, so I use it less, but it does help if you're creating like good logos. So it is always helpful. I won't deny that part. There's no clipping mask, so I can directly take this, use the shape builder tool. Now over here I can get like two different this things. So let's say I go all the way from here. I'm going down. Then I go all the way till here. Correct? I hope I'm going. No, I have to go only till here. Yeah. Okay. I got this circle. I got this circle. Okay. Let's say I just need a beak. I got a beak. Okay. And let's say this has to come till down. Top part was wrong. So let's again control Z it. So you need to be very clear what you are selecting, what you are not seeing. So I rather take these two. Okay. Go slow. I'm just rushing today, but you should not rush it. So just go a little slow so that you all don't make a mistake. And this thing goes all the way with not this, but again, I did a mistake. Yeah, till here it is right. I have to find the half of this, which is nothing but this circle, and here, which is this, and I have to blend it down. If not, also no worries. Just make half of it right. Get half of it right, like this. I got my shapes. Copy those three shapes, paste it out. Little bit of mismatch over here, maybe while our construction was going on. So maybe I can just minus this, copy, paste, group, transform, reflect, vertical, join it. Whatever. You have got this created based on the grids itself. But I would have got it exactly over here as well. But due to time constraints, I'm not zooming in, I'm not doing all of it. But you all got an idea how grids work. Now, because of this, I'll just tell some feedback on this if you all are waiting. This logo doesn't work because too many colors, contrast fails, and things like that. If it would have been a flat logo, it would have worked very perfectly. I can image trace this. Let's see if it works. I am image tracing it. I'm increasing its threshold to get maximum of colors possible, if possible. Okay, not working. Rather, I'll increase the paths. Not working. Okay, it's still because of this. Yes, Ayushi, you can create all of that in Illustrator. I did cover in one of the sessions that also. So let me see if I can get this. So I'm just trying to trace this particular logo. If it is in like, if you see, if it is in black and white, it's much better. And you could have added in single color instead of a fill color. It will work better. So I'm just going back if I can go back, but it's not. But that's okay. But you all got an idea how this thing works. So right now coming to this spacing issues, Z is clear, but it can also look like 7. Okay, it looks like 7L instead of Z. If I don't have this name, I will read it as 7L. Okay, so that is where it goes for a toss at times. This logo, next coin, font is good, but this part is not matching the font, can be better. It's not having any of the grid ratio right, nor it is a square. So it will have a lot of issues down the line. Avoid using rectangular logos like this. You can see it is not in a good ratio. So that's why we should avoid it. So additionally, info I was asked to represent the different forms of disabilities in logos. Also in negative space, the brilliant dots and A stands out. How can I do that? Well, I can see your logo over here, but it is quite complicated. Too many elements. A simple test that we can do is get the logo down to like 200 by 200 as a pixels. So I'm just taking like 200 pixels by 200 pixels. Okay, 200 by pixels by 200 pixels. This is the size, and I'll make this also small. We were working in a very small size, so I'll just cut these two. I'll get them over here. Get your logo, put it inside it. I'm just checking the grid. Okay, this is, let's say, 200 pixels. One, it doesn't fit in a square, but let's say somehow I try to fit the icon inside a square, and I do right click, make clipping mask, and 100%. At least it is visible in 200 by 200. But the next size to test, okay, I'll convert this to pixels, is 124, which is also going well. Lastly, for your mobile app icons, 64, kind of visible. Okay, so still not a problem. Even more lesser is for the fave icon, which is 32. In 32 by 32, it is failing. So see if you can, like, it is not failing fully, it's failing with very little bit. So maybe a little bit of spacing out of elements in a different direction in different methods would make it much more better, is my opinion. Okay, so I'm just giving you insight. So this is like 32 by 32, which goes in the fave icon. Fave icon is nothing but this. You can see the letter P is very clear. Okay, you can see like the Nike logo is very clear in this tick. Okay, so this is also very important. I hope all of you have got your insights. Okay, now I will also go forward for all of you because you all patiently waited for 2 hours and more. I think it's almost 2.5 hours that I've been constantly talking and that you all have been enjoying. Uh, Let me open. Uh, so I've created a good giveaway for all of you where I've collected this entire 45 grids AI file, EPS file, and PDF, whichever you want to use. How to use these grids in practice, I've collected videos for it. There are a lot of good videos on that. How you can effectively create all of this using grids. Okay, you can see them in your free time. Sorry for popping this up. Then, how to use a logo, icon, text spacing guidelines, all of that also is there. Lastly, these are some crazy websites that I've collected for all of you where you can discover a lot of logos and see what kind of font they have used, what colors they have used, everything they will mention over here in very detail. It's a very good website. It gives me a lot of ideas and ideation. And at the same place, there's this other one, logo book, quite famous. You can, this is like one of the largest library and a very well known. You can click on all numbers and logos, and you can, and it'll be an endless scroll that you can keep on scrolling pages and pages, and you will find tons and tons of ideas. All these logos will be created with the help of grids only, guys. All of these will be possible in the grids. Okay, so for you to practice in the grids, also, like, copy this, go back to this. Okay, open the grids, uh, paste it. Let me see if I can paste it. And you can try and do it in any of the grids. Whether it might work in this grid, or it could work in the hexagonal grid, or hexagonal with the round grid. I think in this grid you can easily do it. So try to analyze. Yeah, this grid you can do it. Like, I go, I create A, and I create the arc like this. Or I can try it in this grid, which could be possible. Okay, I can go here, and then create the arc. So this is exactly how you have to try using the grids as well. Okay, lot of ideas that you can explore and play around with the grids. Those videos will help you a lot more, whatever I have collected. So I'll share this with all of you. Okay, I'll put it in the chat link over here. But before I do that, small little request to all the 50 people who are on the call. Uh, I'm sharing you a very quick feedback link. Okay, I'll stop sharing. So, how did you all feel? And I'll open for some Q and A's. We can have some Q and A's being answered. How did the session feel? How did you learn? And give me some of your insights. In the meantime, I'm just sharing you all this small little link. 1 second. test designer. Okay. I have given a very small little form. It will take you 2 minutes. Okay. So just fill in this form link, everyone, so that I can even send you that small token of appreciation to all the people who fill it up. I'll wait for 2 minutes before we go in depth. Okay. And I'm also sharing the YouTube channel that you all can look up into. I'll share the YouTube channel in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry, but I'm putting it for time being over here as well. But 2 minutes, take it out. Let's fill in the form. Let's fill in the form, guys. I'll stop the recording now. So once again, thank you so much for all of you staying over here. I'm just stopping the recording and then we can have a lot of Q&A that we can go on. I am okay to pull in another 1 hour also if you have all have questions. I'm all here. I want to answer them each and every one. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying by.